The pattern interrupt, the silence of the hunter. He's the life of the party. He's telling a story, hands waving, eyes searching for the next laugh. Everyone is looking at him, but he's not the one in control. The person in control is the one sitting in the corner, holding a glass, saying absolutely nothing. In the next 10 minutes, I am going to teach you how to become the ruthless observer. You aren't just listening, you are performing a psychological autopsy in real time. While they talk to fill the void, you are building a map of their insecurities, their lies, and their ultimate price. The big promise. By the end of this breakdown, you will possess a 7-point observation framework used by intelligence officers and elite negotiators. You will learn how to turn silence into a weapon that forces the truth out of people without you ever having to ask a single question. The relatable pain point. How many times have you walked away from a conversation feeling like you gave too much? You shared your plans, your weaknesses, or your secrets just to keep the vibe friendly. You were playing a game you didn't know existed, and you lost. You traded your long-term power for a few seconds of social comfort. That ends today. Information is the only currency that matters in the dark hierarchy of human status. And right now, you're hemorrhaging wealth. Psychological breakdown, the vacuum effect. In social psychology, humans have an innate horror vacui, a fear of empty spaces. In a conversation, silence is that empty space. When you stop talking, the other person's brain enters a state of mild panic. They assume the silence means they've said something wrong, or that you know something they don't. To fix this, they will offer sacrificial information. They will volunteer secrets they never intended to tell, just to make the discomfort go away. Your silence is a vacuum. Let them fill it with their own destruction. The story, the ghost in the boardroom. Imagine a high-stakes merger. The lead negotiator for firm A is aggressive. He's shouting, making demands, trying to intimidate. The lead for firm B says nothing. He doesn't even take notes. He just watches the negotiator's left eye. Every time the price goes too high, the negotiator's left pupil dilates slightly. Firm B didn't need a counteroffer. They just waited. For 3 minutes of absolute silence, the aggressive negotiator cracked. He lowered his own price by 15% without Firm B saying a single word. He didn't lose to a better deal. He lost to the reflection of his own fear in the other man's silence. The 7 things you should only watch. The micro-hesitation, the PR lag. When you ask a pointed question, don't listen to the answer. Watch the 0.2-second gap before they speak. The science. The human brain retrieves the truth instantly, but to formulate a lie, the brain has to switch gears into the prefrontal cortex to construct a narrative. The drill. Look for the micro-swallow or the eye dart. If there is a delay, you aren't talking to a person, you're talking to a public relations firm. The kick-down metric. Watch how they treat people who can do absolutely nothing to them. The janitor, the homeless person, the intern. The dark truth. A person who is nice to you but ruthless to subordinates is a predator in waiting. They aren't kind, they are strategic. The moment you lose your status or your utility to them, they will treat you exactly like they treat that waiter. The mask of humor. Just kidding. Pay attention to the specific targets of their jokes. The insight. Dark psychology suggests that humor is the most common way humans bypass social filters to deliver genuine malice. If someone jokes about your failure, they are actually celebrating it. Listen to what they find funny. It is the most honest map of their hidden resentment. The overcompensation of the eyes. Forget what you heard about liars avoiding eye contact. Professionals do the opposite. The manipulation. A master liar will maintain prolonged, aggressive eye contact to prove they are honest. Watch the blink rate. When a person is under the stress of a lie, their blink rate will either freeze, concentration, or spike immediately after the statement. The Schadenfreude smirk. When someone else in the room suffers a minor misfortune, a spilled drink, a missed promotion, don't look at the victim, look at the observer. The marker. Look for the unilateral lip curl, a tiny lift on one side of the mouth. This is the sign of contempt and secret joy. If you see this on a friend's face when you stumble, you don't have a friend, you have a spectator waiting for your funeral. The mirroring reflex, the false rapport. Notice if they start adopting your posture, your slang, or your breathing pattern. The test. If you suspect you are being manipulated, perform a false move. Cross your arms, then suddenly itch your nose. If they follow suit within 30 seconds, they are mirroring you to build fake trust. They are trying to hack your oxytocin levels. The post-utility exit. Watch how they leave. The reality. The moment a person believes the transaction is over, their mask drops. Watch them as they walk away from your table or exit the Zoom call. The instant they think they're not being watched, their posture will change. That 5-second window is the only time you see the real person. Emotional reinforcement. Being the ruthless observer isn't about being a villain, it's about refusing to be a victim. The world is a theater, and most people are too busy acting to realize the audience sees everything. When you master silence, you stop being a character in their play. You become the director. You gain the power to choose who enters your life and who is permanently exiled from it. The ending, the open loop. Now you have the eyes of a predator. You know what to look for. But there is a final, darker level to this. There is a way to use your own body language to feed false information to an observer. It's called the shadow feed. It allows you to make your enemies believe they have found your weakness, when in reality, you are leading them into a trap of your own making. But that is a conversation for those who have mastered the silence first. For now, just watch.